Okay, hello everyone. We are back now. And again, kindly comment your full name.
Okay,
Hindi,
hello
hindi
everyone.
ko
We are
makita.
back now. And again, kindly comment your full name. Hello
Hindi
everyone.
ko
We are
makita.
back now. And again, kindly comment your full name.
Hindi ko
We are
makita.
back now. And again, kindly comment your
Okay, so we have now Paglumutan, Cañete, and Seguros. So,
Okay, so we have
okay. This is actually required for the face-to-face students. So that's why gisend ako sa inyong group chat ang atong link and naka-streamyard ta via YouTube. Wala ako nag-Zoom since I don't know what happened again with my Zoom account. But then again, we will just private this one exclusive for our section. Now, it is very important for today's session because the goals are I will introduce to you the quarter 3 module 14 and 15 because we are required to submit next week. And since next week is your face-to-face classes schedule for quarter 4 first cycle, so every Monday lang 1 hour ang allotted time for face-to-face students. So starting today, hopefully until Saturday, I can um, I can now accept all the requirements from face-to-face classes students na HRGP sa ating Google Drive link. Okay? So, at this session, I will going to discuss each and what are those requirements. Yung piliin lang natin yung mga activities na you are going to submit. So, dili gid siya tanan for the homeroom guidance program. Okay? So, but do not worry because it is again included in our competencies or learning objectives for each modules. Okay? Now, at this point, okay, we have Cañete, Seguros, Paglumutan, Cadorna, and Albilior. So I have here on the screen is our slide. Let's proceed to slide number 2. So of course, homeroom guidance program for grade 9. Last week pa ko nag-remind that your LMS or that your homeroom guidance program is already in your LMS for quarter 3, um, module 14 and 15. So yun pa lang so far for the quarter 3. So by tomorrow, I will just update you if my additional modules for quarter 3. So proceed to the next slide. Okay, now here are the requirements. So last quarter 1 and 2, I I asked a favor from Cañete, Cadorna. Sila lang yata yung na-chat ko last time because our guidance office required us to have a portfolio of students' outputs for the homeroom guidance. That's why I asked you and I required you to submit gyud ang inyong output soft copy sa Google Drive link provided on our LMS. But since dinalian siya, though may mga majority of the class talisay submitted the output for quarter 1 and 2, but I asked Cañete and Cadorna. So ang ginawa nila is they submitted a Microsoft PowerPoint file na one file each quarter. So for example, quarter 1, isang file lang ng PowerPoint presentation, nandun na lahat. So parang mga more or less 30 to 40 slides ilahan na submit last time. So the same requirement for quarter 3 as well as for the next quarter 4. Now, on the screen you have here, para uniform yung ating submission, you will answer all the given activities in each module. For submission, use a Microsoft Word or PowerPoint presentation, or as much as possible, if you can convert into PDF, much better. Then one file per quarter, and you are required to submit the file to our Google Drive link provided on our LMS. Okay, excuse me. Now, um, as I check the Google Drive link, at least mga 50% of students from Tastalisay submitted the quarter 1 and 2. But majority of you then nag-submit by writing on a piece of paper and then take a picture, and the picture ang nasubmit ninyo sa ating Google Drive link, which is tama naman siya since that was our last agreement. That was our first agreement, right? With the orientation last, I think, past months ago. So we will change now the routine. We will change the submission requirements for quarter 3 and 4. So kato mga nakasubmit na og picture lang nga handwritten sa papel nung quarter 1 and 2, do not worry. It is because consider pa rin nyo siya, na-check na ako ang mga output. But then again, since we are required to do and to submit portfolios of every quarter, so it is a requirement that for quarter 3 and 4, kung pwede and makaya natin is naka PowerPoint presentation siya na file. Or if you do not like PowerPoint presentation, you can use Microsoft Word. Okay? So, that's it. If, for example, ma'am, what if 20 slides ang isang quarter? Well, it's okay as long as one file lang yun, tanang answers na ara sa isa ka file for uh, answers, okay? For the HRGP. Yun na, distract ko sa bata sa gawas. Okay, now let's continue with slide number 4. Sa slide number 4, here's the module 14, and the title is The Responsible Me. So, for last week, during your face-to-face classes, you answered activity 1. Activity 1 pa to out of like 5 to 6 activities required for module 14. And I believe, and as you observe, 1 hour during the face-to-face classes is not enough. Right? Na-experience natin yan last Monday na 1 hour lang, and then yung iba hindi pa natapos sa one activity. So, starting today, or if you can start by tomorrow morning, at least 1 hour each activity para by next week for 1 hour session natin on Monday sa face-to-face classes, yung remaining modules na lang yung ating sasagutan. Okay? So, next. For our learning objectives for the responsible me, it is very interesting for grown-ups like you. It's because here are the learning objectives. Okay? First is evaluate the significance of assuming responsibilities. Number 2, analyze the possible and helpful ways of solving problems to different challenges in life. Number 3, promote positive skills in responding to challenges and difficulties in everyday living. And our last objectives is you are going to identify conditions or situations where sound problem solving skills can be employed. Okay? The next module for quarter 3 is this one. This is for you to prepare yourself in the future on, since the title of our module 15 is Getting to Know the World of Work. Ready na ba kayo na magkaroon ng work in the future? You are grade 9. You will be having your grade 10 next year, 11 and 12. Then you have to take your college and then get a work. Okay? So for module 15, these are our learning objectives. So we have 6. So first is relate oneself to the current situation of preferred careers. Number 2, appreciate the implication of work assessment to one's career decision. Number 3, recognize one's competencies and knowledge in relation to the required expertise in the field. 4, Relate one's career choice to the labor market information. Next is display positive attitude or behavior in choosing what field to pursue. And the last objective is to appreciate the contribution of each career to society and global aspect. Okay? So these are our um, topic for this morning. Only the module 14 and module 15. Okay? So next slide. For module 14 and 15, I will now share um, the PDF of our module 14 so that we can check, we can review what are those activities that we are going to answer and will be included in your Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so let me share you now my screen window. Okay. Okay, at this part, you have here on the screen the file, and you can easily download this using your LMS course sa homeroom guidance program. So i-click lang and then download. For quarter 3 module 14, here are the needed activities that you need to answer and you need to submit. Dali lang. Okay, so this is a module of 6 interactive tasks. So if you notice, there are titles. So ito yun siya yung ating target for module 14 and 15. Yung sa quarter 1 and 2, so as is na yon since nakasubmit na majority of you. So focus tayo sa quarter 3 and 4. Okay? So you will start with this activity 1. But since we are done with the activity 1, wait lang, parang wala kayo sa screen. Dali lang ha. Hindi nyo nakita yung aking file. Wait lang. Mm. Wait lang po ha. I will share my screen. Oh. Tama naman siya. Wait lang ha. Okay, here's the screen. Yan na siya. Nakita na. Okay. So, first one, last week or last Monday, we already discussed this or you answered this already, the responsible me. First activity. Okay, so let's try this. But um, I will not require you to answer na lang this one sa PowerPoint presentation. Kasi you're done with the hard copy. So, okay na ako sa hard copy. Huwag nyo na ulitin yung answer. So, meaning to say, yung mga present during face-to-face classes last Monday, parang si Jenny lang yata ang wala nung Monday, as far as I can remember. So, si Jenny lang ang required for the face-to-face students na group na mag-answer ng Module 14. So, Jenny, you will answer muna the activity 1. Let's try this. So, ang gagawin natin sa PowerPoint presentation is you are going to include the title. So, for example, slide number 1. So, lagyan nyo, let's try this. Please do not forget to write the title of each activity para kung mag-check ako sa PowerPoint, nakita ko yung activity based on the title. So, ito lang, let's try this. And the title is Me and My Responsibilities. So, no need to copy the instruction, just copy the chart. Now, since you will be using PowerPoint presentation, pwede nyo siya i-screenshot or if you are familiar with Snip tool, so you can snip tool the chart, or if it is easy for you to edit using or by inserting a table on your PowerPoint presentation, the better. Kasi naka-table man siya. Okay? But again, katong mga naka face-to-face, last Monday, naka-answer, so no need to answer and include activity number 1. Okay, so for Jenny, these are your first activity in your PowerPoint presentation. And all you have to do is to answer the questions. Sa questions naman, I will require you to include the question before your answer. Okay? Para pag mag-check ako, dire-diretso na. So you need to write the question and then the answer. Make sure it's readable. So dapat kung hindi mabasa yung font size na 12, so as much as possible mga font size na 15, 16, 20, yung malaki talaga siya na font size. Okay? So answer this one. Then for the next activity 1, eto siya, we are done this one. We are done with this one last week also. So responsibility 3, again, no need to copy the instruction. All you have to do is to screenshot this one and edit and insert in your PowerPoint slide. And then sa processing question again, the same requirement, copy the question and then answer. Now, for activity number 2, ito yung hindi natin na-include last week sa face-to-face classes natin. So again, do not forget to write each title of the activity in your PowerPoint presentation. Sa activity number 2, you are going to complete the table below by filling in the 3 columns. Again, you may insert table this time in the PowerPoint presentation. First column is, what are those challenges you met in life? Especially during the lockdown, during the pandemic, during the last 2 years. So what are those challenges met in life? The second column is, with those challenges, what are those strategies in solving those challenges? And then the third one, what are the positive skills developed? Or kung isa lang na positive skill na develop ninyo, so be it. Yun yung ilalagay ninyo. So for example, ng mga challenges in life is, ano ba? During the pandemic, challenges met in life is, for example, in a family, like since lockdown and walang masyadong mga open na mga buildings, so yung mga work ng mga parents natin affected. So challenges, for example, is nagstay at home si mama, for example, and then medyo financially struggling. So yun yung challenges natin, financially struggling because of um, hindi naka-work for how many months because of the lockdown. Now, for the strategies in solving those challenges, like for example, yung financially struggling, so ang ginawa ninyo is, strategy is to make an online business, for example. Okay, nag-post kayo online ng mga products, ng mga food deliveries, and then the positive skills develop because of those challenges and because of the strategies na naka-cope up kayo with the financial struggles because of the lockdown. One of the positive skills that you develop is resourcefulness, di ba? being optimistic. Okay, so yun. So at least three challenges met in life. So aside from lockdown, aside from the pandemic, you can also recall your challenges met in life during your grade 7 years, grade 8 years, or whatever. Okay, so at least three. And then after that, you are going to answer the three processing questions. Okay, so number one, two, and three. Again, copy the question and then answer. Next one is, sa activity, keep in mind na title. All you have to do is to read this one. Yan. Because it's an acronym of responsibilities. May mga meaning each letter dyan. Okay. Yan siya. Responsible para na word. And each initial letter, meron siyang meaning. Okay? So all you have to do is to take time to read. Now let's proceed to the next. Next activity is you're going to write, you can do it in your PowerPoint presentation as the title of this activity. You are going to read the stories of these three inspiring citizens who were able to transform difficult situation into successes, which are truly worth learning from. Okay? So you have to take time to discover the experiences of Claire Ann Taboy, a grade 6 student from Pagudpod, Ilocos Norte. The story of Elger David, the teacher 3 of senior high school in Bulacan. Then the story also of Jarel Endino, who was a deaf participant in the National Festival of Talents. So their stories are very, very inspiring. So nabasa ko ito kanina. So it is very heartwarming stories, and like as young as you are now, you're a grade 9. While reading all the stories, at least you can think of kaya man gani nila, kaya pod nako. Okay? So hopefully you can find time to finish all these three stories so that you can answer the next activity. Okay, the next activity after all the stories, you need to answer three questions. Okay, and of course, you are going to relate that to your family experiences as well during the difficult situation, financially struggling, emotionally down, during those days of pandemic, during those days of lockdown. Okay, so you're going to answer this honestly. So processing question one, two, and three. For the next one is what I have learned. The title is Bridging the Gaps. This one, you will design ways of becoming a responsible learner by accomplishing the worksheet below on a clean sheet of paper, but we will be using Microsoft Word. So on each slide ito. So bridging the gaps, first column is what are my responsibilities? What have I done to fully perform my responsibilities? Okay? So at least two responsibilities. Like for example, as a student, what is your responsibility or what are your responsibilities? As a daughter, as a sister, kung mayroon kayong mga older brother or older sibling or younger siblings, what are your responsibilities? Okay? And do you really perform your responsibilities at home, at school, at church, for example? Okay? So you're going to answer this again. You need to insert a table sa PowerPoint presentation kasi naka-table siya. Next one is, the title is Share Your Thoughts and Feelings. So at this part, you will provide one PowerPoint slide for this because the question is, how did your experience about the COVID-19 pandemic become beneficial to you? So we will not think mostly on the negative effects of this pandemic, but we will be looking on the brighter side of the pandemic. Okay? How this pandemic become beneficial to us. So you need to answer this question, but then again, do not forget to please copy the question so that I, as your advisor, if mag-check na ako, may guide ako ano yung question na sinagutan ninyo. Okay? So, that's it. And that ends Module 14. So, very short lang ang Module 14. So, I will expect the konti lang din yung slides for Module 14. Okay? You may now take note of your possible questions or clarifications about this module, and then later sa group chat natin sa face-to-face classes, you can raise your questions if any. Okay? Now, let's close this one and let's proceed to our quarter 3 module 15. Okay. At this part, as young as you are now, you are, I think, 15, 14, 15, 16. So, the homeroom guidance program will give you the chance to at least you have the vision on what particular profession or career you would like to have in the future. So, the title of our module 15 is Getting to Know the World of Work. Okay? Okay, next. Again, the same with the previous modules. We have the part 6 task for this one. Let's try this. Let's explore this. Keep in mind, you can do it. What I have learned, and share your thoughts and feelings. Now, for number 15, activity 1, you need these materials. So you have worksheets, crayons, or coloring materials. Now, at this part, since um, you are required to submit bond paper, but then again, we will be using PowerPoint presentation. First is, let's try this. On a blank sheet of paper or bond paper, come up with a list of identified or widespread types of workers for the different decades, like 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Like, for example, you will ask your father or your mother or your guardians at home if um, nandyan na sila 1970, 1980, ask them anong trabaho nila during the time. Kung nagtatrabaho na sila during 1980, 1990s, ano yung klaseng trabaho meron sila? Or kung hindi kayo maka-ask ng guardians or any family member, you can research what are those types of workers for 70s, 80s, 90s, and even in our current generation. Okay? Number 2, instruction. You are highly encouraged to ask for help from any of your family members. Okay? Number 3, you're going to answer the questions on the same sheet of paper. Use additional sheets of paper whenever necessary. So again, we will be using PowerPoint presentation or Microsoft Word. Then you need to answer number 1, 2, and 3 questions. Now, on the next activity, no need to copy the instruction. Just insert table. Eto siya. Okay? Now, let's continue with number 1. Instruction muna. The title of this activity is Career Shopee. Okay? Number 1. Or shop. Shop pala yan, shop. Number 1, carefully examine the different career experiences and interests listed below. Number 2, visualize that you are shopping for career experiences and interests. On a blank sheet of paper, write your choices depending on your attitude, likes, interests, abilities, and skills. So this one, career experiences and interests. This is column A and column B. Sa column A and B, you will choose one. Like for example, first row, we have one to work indoor versus one to work outdoor. So you will choose one. based on your liking, based on your attitudes, based on your interests. So for example, um, you want to become an online teacher in the future. So sinabing online teacher, so you really want to work indoor, nasa bahay lang. Okay? So you will choose this one. So in your PowerPoint presentation, take note, isa lang yung answer. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you have 9 items uh, to answer for our let's explore this. So sa PowerPoint presentation, ang isusulat nyo lang dun sa table ninyo is yung choice ninyo or the choices. Like for example ha, yung sulat nyo lang doon is want to work indoor. Second is, you're going to wear casual dress or you want to wear professional clothes. So kung ako, gusto ko maging online teacher, of course, I will be wearing professional clothes. Kahit nasa bahay lang. Okay? So you can choose either kayo nang bahala kung anong gusto niyo dyan. Next is work with a team or work alone. If you are an introvert, for example, and you want to be an online teacher because I want to be mom working alone, then choose work alone. So kayo nang bahala din. But if you want to become like a businessman or you want to have a mall, for example, you want to manage a store, or you want to be a runway model or a vlogger, for example, or a travel vlogger, or an engineer, a doctor, and nurses. Doctors and nurses or other professions will require you to go out, will require you to socialize, will require you to meet different people face to face. So if you want to have a profession like those mentioned, so of course you want to work with a team. Okay, so again, based on your choices. So may mga choices yan from set the duties of the same schedule, or you want to work away from home kung gusto niyo mag-abroad, gusto niyo mag-travel, then you will choose work away from home. Okay? Or you want to work at nighttime. Ma'am, gusto ko mag-call center, ma'am. Okay. Ganahan kay ko anang, hello, welcome to, thank you for calling, something like that. Or you want to work at nighttime. Ang ganahan, gusto ko anang maka-experience ko anang, ano ma'am, kanang gabi mag-work or whatever. Then do it. Go. Choose what you would like to do in the future. Okay? Now, at this time, you have here choices work with superior or you are the boss of your own work. Okay? You want to have a minimum salary or high paying salary. I think naiisip ko na majority of you would choose high paying salary, right? Sino ba naman hindi gusto salary? But as long as you're happy with your choice of career and profession, as long as you're happy, then everything will go smoothly. Okay? But then again, it's your choice kung pipiliin nyo ang minimum salary or high-paying salary. The next one would be you want to work with people or you want to work using tools. So for those male students who are listening right now, for example, you want to own a machine shop, for example. So you will be working with tools. So you will choose the other column. Okay? And then after listing your choices, the 9 choices mentioned above, then you are going to answer the worksheet. Okay? What are those job requirements? And what are your career options? At these 3 careers options, actually class, I am to be honest, teaching or to become a teacher is not my first choice. Honestly, my first choice na course was mass communication. Pero wala, naging teacher ako. Walang mass communication na course sa Tagum last 2024. 2004 bala. 2004 ako nag first year college. The second choice, kung dili ko mag-masscom, gusto ko muskwela og fine arts. Like, art, styling, designing, yung ganun-ganun na mga kuan. But again, God did not permit me to do that, to do to do those things na gustong-gusto kong gawin sa buhay ko in the future. But I am very happy of where I am right now. So happy naman ako na naging teacher new ako. So, na-love ko ang profession ko nung first time ako nag-work as a full-time teacher last year, 2007, 2007, 2008. So, yun. So, kahit siguro anong plano natin in the future, gusto ko ito, gagawin ko to, by hook or by crook, take the risk or whatever. But if God will destine you to something else that is much um, more beneficial for you as a person, then God will surely make a way. Okay? But go for it. Go for your dream. At this module 15, it's very interesting for grade 9 students like you. Okay, at least you can now have a vision of yourself on what you're going to do in the future. So at this worksheet, you are given three choices. Okay? Pero kung, ma'am, isa ra gyud akong gusto, ma'am, mahimo or jud ko in aning ana, then so be it. You can write only one career option choice. Okay? Dito sa worksheet. Kayo nang bahala. Then the next part, this is an example of worksheet on how you will answer this one. Okay? Example here is job requirements. Okay? If these choices, dun nyo siya kukunin sa inyong choices ganina. 'Di ba there are 9? Okay? So since there are 9, pili lang kayo ng at least 3 na requirements or interest. So, sa ating sample worksheet, ang ginamit nila is work close near home, want to work with people, and work with team. And for your career options, so you want to become a teacher someday or nurse or accounting clerk. And then your future career, so teacher, so i-level up natin yung ano mo, yung goals mo in life. So you will become school administrator or principal, or if you want to become a nurse, then your future career will be head nurse or accountant, for example. So that's it. Again, you will provide one slide for this activity, and every activity it is, expected that there will be processing questions that you need to copy and then answer. The next one is keep in mind. At this part, you need to again find time to read carefully this paragraph. Okay? The statement. The work standards. Yan siya. So take note, pag mag apply tayo ng job in the future, of course, may mga qualifications, may mga needed skills for that specific job. So, on this page sa module natin, here are the work standards. Okay? And then, you have here, next one, okay, the 7 M's. For you, as young as you are now, grade 9 student, you have this knowledge about 7 M's. This is a part of our President Duterte's administration's economic agenda. Okay? So we have mindset change. Of course, we have to be more on positive outlook in life. Number 2 is mastery, mentoring, money, machine, market access, models of negosyo. Okay, if you want to engage in businesses. Okay, now on this page also, this will give you clear information about work standards. So please find time. It's very helpful for students like you na si senior high school na and magka-college na. Okay? So, scroll down lang natin. Now, for the next one, you can do it. Career alphabet. This one, medyo madugo siya. Madugo in the sense that you need to provide all these letters in the alphabet from A to Z. Okay, here is the instruction. Number one, on a sheet of paper, write at least one career that starts with each of the letters in the alphabet. If you get stuck for answers, you are going to ask your family members for help. Then, third, you are going to encircle the three careers that respond to the current COVID 19 pandemic. So, from A to Z, for example, obviously, letter N is for nurse. You're going to encircle that one because that would be, or that would explain or describe one of the careers that respond to the current COVID 19 pandemic. Okay? So A to Z, kompleto yan. So in your PowerPoint presentation, you will provide all letters A to Z and write at, at least one career that starts with letter A. Okay? So for example, letter A, accountant. Okay? Starts with letter A. Career na nag-starts with letter A, accountant. Okay? Architect. Okay? So yun. Or artist, actress, actors. So yun. So, kayo nang bahala maghanap ng mga uh, names for letter B down to letter Z. Okay? And then, another processing questions, we have 1, 2, and 3. So, 3 questions time that you need to answer. And then the last one, what I have learned. Okay? So, again, you have here career choices. So, kayo nang bahala. Again, you will insert tables sa slide sa PowerPoint. And do not worry because may mga sample answers dito sa baba ng table. Okay, like for example, you wanna be a guidance counselor in the future because you love giving advices. You are a listener to a friend. Yung kung may problema ang friend mo sa iyo tumatakbo, sa inyo magchat-chat, "Oh, help me. What will I do?" If you are if you love to give advices and you want to become a guidance counselor, so an example of a career choice is guidance counselor. Your requirement, of course, dapat graduate ka din ng degree in guidance and counseling. Okay? And here are the needed skills and the duties and responsibilities of being a counselor, for example. Okay? So, yun yung mga choices ninyo, option 1, 2, and 3. The next part, there are three another questions. So the title of this activity is Share Your Thoughts and Feelings. So 1, 2, and 3. And then the last activity, this is assignment. So you are going to draw a tree. Pwede niyo siyang i-copy-paste or snip tool or screenshot. Or kung how mo mag-drawing, so mag-digital art, pwede nyo siyang i-insert sa Microsoft PowerPoint slide ninyo. And then, again, you're going to copy the question and then answer. And then, additional activity, eto siya. Sa additional activity, do not include this in your PowerPoint presentation na because I will be administering this one on Monday na. Okay? So, I will provide worksheets for what's in your future packet. So, hanggang dito lang tayo sa Module 15. Etong growing in gratitude na activity. Okay? So, again, reminder, our deadline today is April 5. So, the deadline for the face-to-face classes for Quarter 3, Module 14 to 15, soft copy or Microsoft PowerPoint presentation na copy na submission sa Google Drive link na provided na sa ating LMS course will be Monday. So you still have today, April 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? Now, for the stay-at-home students, they are also required to submit before Monday. Yun. So again, I will provide the last activity worksheet. Ito yung gagawin natin for Monday. 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. Okay? So again, this file are downloadable, okay? Downloadable sa ating LMS. Okay? So the time now is 3:07 p.m. We are almost 1 hour na. So thank you for attending. And maybe our next virtual class or updating for homeroom guidance program will be sa Zoom na or sa Google Meet. I will try the Google Meet next time if okay. If hindi pa okay yung aking Zoom account. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching, and there are five, maybe nawala na ng internet yung iba, but do not worry, pwede nila itong i-review, pwede nang i-replay since recorded yung ating discussion. So again, thank you everyone for watching, and see you face-to-face on Monday. And you may now start answering the module 14 and 15, and I will expect submissions until Monday. Okay? So if there are no more questions, kindly post a comment, okay, so that we can end this broadcast. Sige. Type okay on the comment box. So on the comment box, we have, ayun, si Shed. Abti ka ni Shed. Oy, okay, Shed, you can now exit the platform. Thank you for attending. Yeah, we have Seguros, Cadorna. So thank you everyone for watching. See you on the next session of HRGP. Bye everyone.